episode 8. This is going to be a very different episode. It's not going to be a traditional interview like I typically do. I wasn't even really planning on doing an episode this week. I didn't even really want to make content out of this. I heard yesterday that over the weekend, one of my favorite people I've ever met, one of the nicest people I've ever met, the best host I've ever met, my friend, chef and owner, DK of DK Sushi, passed away. Like I said, I didn't really want to make content out of this. This is more a tribute because all I've really seen since the family announced his passing is just a Reddit feed of people sharing their stories, and that's really cool. Go check that out if you're at least interested. But he was such a huge figure in the Austin scene and such a legend and such a generous, decent person that I think that there should be at least some tribute out there to him. And I was fortunate enough to know him personally. I was also fortunate enough to be able to film his legendary Thursday night karaoke's, which were unhinged and raunchy and crude and just completely crazy. They went off the rails all the time, so I guess I'll just get into it. In January of 2020, I had just finished the first issue of Peon, and I was planning on doing a second issue with the theme of cults, because I tended to see that there were like so many like cult-like figures in food. It's still an interesting concept that I could think about a lot, but the main focus of that issue was going to be a documentary of those legendary DK Thursday nights. And so I had no way of reaching out to him. I didn't even know him. The first time I'd ever seen DK was 10 years earlier. For my 21st birthday, I went to DK's Sushi South, which was his first location. And it's this tight, cramped little like hole in the wall that's decked out like a Japanese I don't even know, like it's got the tatami rooms, and it's got like a couple tables, and you're supposed to take your shoes off, and he set up a little stage in the center of the room, and there people would sing karaoke, and he would just berate them, but we'll get into that later. And it was so unique, and it was crazy. And it was insane to also have that as my 21st birthday. I went there and it was packed, absolutely packed. And we're talking about like 80 people in like a 400 square foot area. It was madness. And the second DK walked in, he was in this bright red, like neon red suit from head to toe, which he was kind of known for at that point, and just blew the fucking doors off. It was insane. It was insanity. It took forever to get your food, and of course people complained about it, but you're talking about two sushi chefs doing at least 2 to 10 rolls per table for like 80 people. It was absolute insanity from a service perspective. But then on top of that, DK would also just create complete chaos. He would give sake bombs and just create this like explosive energy and this party atmosphere. He would get people to sing who had no intention of singing. He would get like groups of people to come sing, and then he would just blow out the front door and say, any you gay boys who want to smoke a cigarette, you follow me outside. And then like the whole restaurant would go outside and smoke a cigarette with DK, and you had to take your shoes off to get in the place, and everybody's drunk, so they just go outside with their shoes off and smoke a cigarette with DK, and just to be around him. No one really, like, some people would talk to him, but there was so many people you couldn't really get to him. And there are crazy stories that I'd love to to get from people, but he was just like crazy and unhinged, and everybody just accepted it. It was wild. But I always kept that in my head, and so when I was planning out that issue that never happened, which I'll also get into, he was the first guy. I was like, there's got to be something about DK. Like, no one's ever documented those Thursday nights. And I never, some people have documented it. You can find them on YouTube, and they're grainy and they're terrible because they're like from, 10 years ago. And the quality's terrible, but also nobody really focused on DK, which I always found kind of weird. Like, people did go to DK's Thursday nights karaoke's to see DK, but he was kind of like almost in the background. And for me, he was always the attraction. There was no other reason to go there. I personally hate karaoke, but to sit through the karaoke just to hear DK incite some sort of crazy party was amazing. It was insane. So when I was getting that issue together, I had no way of getting to DK. I didn't know him. I asked a few friends, and I think I was talking about it at a previous restaurant I was at, Fukumoto in Austin. And it turned out that the sous chef there at the time had previously worked with DK. And so I got his number through the chef there at the time. And lo and behold, he got back to me. And he said, yeah, come down. Let's talk. And so I went up to his north location, and he had transferred the Thursday night karaoke up to there at that point. It was a bigger room, and it had a lot more seating and things. So it had a lot more room for people to move and get crazy and things. So I went up there and I talked to him, and I prepared a speech for like 2 or 3 days. I was really nervous. I thought that he would definitely reject me, but at least if I had explained exactly what I wanted to explain about my lofty ideas about Peon magazine and how I thought his performances worked and stuff like that, then he would definitely let me bring some cameras in. But he turned out to be totally opposite. I think within the first 5 minutes that I met him, he's like, okay, that's enough. Yeah, you can do it. And then we went outside and we smoked cigarettes, and he told me about how he always thought about kind of documenting the Thursday night, because at that point he was already thinking about retiring it. I don't know how old he was at that point, but he was thinking about just giving it up because I don't even remember the reasons, but he wanted to get more into to-go sushi. He didn't really tell me much about what he was going through in that aspect, but I do remember we had a great conversation. I think I planned on a 10-minute meeting, and I stayed there for like 3 hours. He was so welcoming and nice. I like I said, we smoked cigarettes and we talked a little bit outside, and he made fun of me a little bit, which I fucking loved. That was great. But he was nothing like on stage. I mean, to a certain extent, but he was so nice and welcoming. And after a little bit, he asked if I was hungry. He was cooking fish for their family meal that day, and he sat me down at the corner of the bar, and he fed me. Like, we barely talked. He just kept feeding me food, and he was like, you want more? Are you hungry? And I really wasn't hungry at all, but I didn't want to say no. So that was amazing. And I think within like the next 2 weeks or a month or something like that, me and my friend Keaton brought some cameras in, and we started shooting Thursday nights. And I think we told him that we were going to document him and all the karaoke singers, but we had no interest in that. We tried to keep every single thing about him. We kept the focus on him. We only recorded him. I don't know if I didn't tell him that, or maybe if I was vague about that because I thought maybe he wouldn't be into that. But that's what we did. We just decided we only cared about filming him. We did 3 nights in total, and it's so weird to look back on because January 2020 to March or May of 2020 is, as everybody knows, when the pandemic started. So the first one, he injured his foot, which you'll hear in some of this some of these clips. So he comes in crutches, always wearing a suit, always dapper as fuck, wearing a suit, and he comes in crutches, and he was joking about how he'd gotten hurt because he tried to kill his wife, but his wife's a ninja, so she ended up beating him up, and he also joked about using the crutches as weapons against anybody, any sort of drunk person. So that was a weird night. He was on painkillers, and he's a little bit loopy, and he's drinking shots of sake, the sake bombs, and he's drinking sake with us, and he's drinking sake with like regulars that are hanging around. So he's on painkillers and alcohol at the same time. He's getting loopy, he's getting wild. And then the second night was when kind of COVID was kind of taking off, and it was getting a little more news coverage and people being more aware of it. So there was a little bit smaller crowd, but you could tell people were still wild. They wanted to go out, and they still wanted to get a little crazy. And so there was like, covers on the mic, like disposable covers on the mics and things like that. And then the third night we did it was even less people. So, and that turned out, I didn't even realize this till I'm saying it, that turned out to be the very last Thursday night DK karaoke. So we have that on tape. We have some footage of that, and it was very amazing to be a part of that. He was so welcoming in there as well. Like, I don't think we paid for a single drink. He would not let us pay for anything, even though every time we went in, we got sushi, and we tried to tip the servers, and we tried to pay a bill, tried to go get around it in some way, but he wouldn't have it. Anytime he got off stage, he'd come with us and ask us if we need another drink, or just pull the servers aside and make sure you got something to eat, you're getting something to drink. And like that first time I met him, we didn't really want to say no. He was the kind of person you always wanted to say yes with, because he's just so welcoming and nice. And then during the pandemic, we sort of tried to morph the idea, because we knew that wasn't going to happen. Obviously, at that point, I think we were trying to get him to do Thursday night karaoke's like on Twitch, which would have been a crazy wild time. But his instinct and probably the correct instinct was that it wouldn't work without an audience. And we kept telling him like, we can like have people like call in and sing karaoke with a phone and stuff, but that might not have worked. And that's fine. I think we just desperately wanted to spend more time around him, because, oh man, I forgot about that. There was a right after the third show, the last one, as far as I know, it's the last one. He had a party at his house, and we went, and we were sitting there in his garden smoking weed with him. This is right when the CDC was telling everybody, be careful about sharing drinks and talking too close to each other. And here we are in his garden. We're all sharing like a vape pen, a weed vape pen. And it was great, because we were just sitting there talking and talking about if we were worried about dying, and if we were worried about the illness and stuff. And he didn't seem too bothered by it. He's like, I've seen it all. It's whatever. But so welcoming and nice. We just stayed at his house and drank beers. He fed us all. He just loved like making food for you and then just giving it to you by hand. And then during the pandemic, like I said, we tried to get him to do a couple things. His idea also was that we should write him some sort of stand-up, and that would be kind of like his goodbye to the Thursday nights. And as you'll hear, there's no way that anybody, let alone us, could have gotten into his head and created something that sounded anything like him, But that didn't end up happening. It just COVID killed Thursday nights, and it was appropriate time for him, he said, to retire. He said it was just kind of like a coincidence that he wanted to retire, and then COVID shut down all the restaurants, so he just stopped doing it. And then due to COVID, his North restaurant shut down. They just couldn't make it through the pandemic. And I tried to contact him a few times during the pandemic. I mean, I had my own shit going on, but I tried to keep in contact with him, or at least reach out every once in a while, and he would never get back to me. So I kind of kept my distance for like a year. I didn't talk to him, and then finally, I don't remember. I think it was just me and my friends, and we were joking, and we were saying like, man, should I invite DK or something like that? Because he was always somebody we talked about and we thought about a lot. And so I just texted him out of the blue earlier this year, and wildly, he got back to me and he said, we should come down and eat. And we made a reservation and we ate at his restaurant. Sure enough, the first thing he asked was, did you guys ever finish that film about me? And we're like, no, yes. Like the pandemic fucked up everything. So we didn't even get to finish that. Who knows? Maybe I definitely want to get that footage together and do something with it. But you'll be hearing the audio of that stuff in this episode. But he, again, was so welcoming. He hadn't seen us in years, and he immediately, it was like we'd never stopped talking for a second. He brought over, without even saying hello, he brought over sake bombs. And he was sort of mad that my girlfriend was late because we made a booking for 4, and there was an empty seat, and he always hated if people booked a table but then didn't show up. But I was like, no, she's at work, she's coming, she's on her way. And so he comes over and we drink sake bombs, like it's like his hello. And within 10 minutes, he invited us on his boat. Like I said, like we'd never stopped talking to each other, and never stopped being friends. And he just kept sending out food, and it was incredible, man. And we did end up going on his boat. We cooked food on his boat and hung out, and he like dragged us with the inner tubes, and he told us stories about his life in Austin when he first got to town, and how he met his wife and how he fell in love with his wife, and these crazy stories about finding love, and how he became DK and why he did Thursday nights and all the wild shit he got into. And that was incredible. What a loss. So what I got for you today is just kind of a little tribute to DK, and just to get his voice back out into the world one more time. The way that his Thursday nights worked were that you booked a table, and the whole draw again was karaoke. But again, for us, it was never karaoke. Never gave a shit about karaoke. Never sang karaoke once at his Thursday night karaoke's. So you went to his show, and at the very beginning, he did a little monologue, something like this.
Hola. Hey, badasses. How are you, Austin? I love that energy. My name is DK. I'm the founder of DK Sushi, and I've been serving you guys 28 years in Austin only. I'm feeling good about it. The reason that I designed Thursday night, just say thank you. Not just thank you, come again. Like, thank you, I'm gonna fucking party with you. Once a week. You guys, the Austin inspires me. It's just, Austin's badass town. You guys are badass. And don't you ever forget that. You're just fucking badass. You live your life, and we live our life. we're gonna duke it out together. We're gonna have a badass party. You know, I convince myself I'm badass every day. then, then I walk out of the house. I have a skirt on. I'm like, what the fuck? Is my pussy hurting right now? But you know, you still gotta live your life. You know, you still gotta duke it out. What the fuck you gonna do? Lay down and smoke that bong all day long? They don't pay you. It's gonna cost you a shitload of money. So I lay that thing down and convince myself I'm badass. So we all badass party tonight. And somehow you will convince yourself you're not badass, you let me know I'm gonna kick in the pussy. Again and again. Until you realize, oh, I'm a badass. Trust me, life is badass, no matter how rough it is. I go through rough shit all the time, but it wakes me up. Just wakes me up. I'm living, I'm alive, I'm a fucking badass, I'm gonna live my life. Yeah. And we all gonna do that. You are the star tonight. I'm just your extra. And you perform. You DK Sushi, Thursday night karaoke. We've been doing this shit for a long time. And I love the support that you give us and my family, my kids. We love you guys. And I love Austin, and it's my town. Don't fuck around. By the way, anybody from out of town? All. Have a great staying. Don't think about moving in. Austin population full, over full. Just, you know, since I have a show, I can communicate you people. Don't know, please. Whoever staying in here, don't go nowhere, stay, but don't come in. Full, full, full. But I had that moments like, yeah, I'm a fucking badass. Yeah, I might not be like a big horse, but I can kick your ass. You know, 3 inches go like 10,000 miles per hour is for badass. We break things. Lay down there, bitch. So who has a sexual problem? I mean, I don't know what kind of patients comes in and asks you like, doctor, oh shit, I'm banging this chick and she's dead, I'm still not coming. Is that what it is? That Asian guy. I'm like, patient, I got the same problem. We gotta talk about this thing. Who has a sexual problem? And you are banging each other, right? Yeah. Try butt. Or donkey punch. About 10, 15 years ago, I heard somebody this guy killed this chick, donkey punching. I'm like, what a dumbass. Just whisper to her, hey, your sister was better. Tie them up, baby. Talk. Communication, much, much better. Austin, thank you again. Appreciate it. Wow. But I'm having great time. I'm really, seriously, that Austin gave me everything I got. This is the party. I just want to be different. I just want to thank you my way. And this is cool shit. I like it. And Austin has a great energy, it's great people. No other town I can do this shit. I'll probably get shot and get killed. But Austin, I can express myself. And some people trust me, they're gonna fucking hate me. And if you like me, yeah, I love you too. But if you hate me, I cannot do shit about it. What the fuck am I gonna do? You don't like me, you know? I mean, if your wife don't like you, fucking divorce her. So, we're karaoke tonight. You gotta sing. We got a bunch of songs, and I'm glad. When you come up here, you perform. You have sex with the microphone, and you do come. I mean, you're the star. You think about it. You are performing in front of 80 people, and we have a best audience in Austin. It's all focus are here. So I mean, nobody in the United States does what I do. We just have a great time. But you gotta have a great time. You gotta have badass good time. God dang, look at that Hooters. She's gonna fall down and hurt somebody. Tomorrow, whatever, you do whatever. But tonight, you with me. I'm gonna party with you. And you're partying with me. And I took some Advils. 2 of them this time. And ibuprofen, I'm ready for you. And I'm not gonna drink too much tonight. It might go backwards. But I do wanna drink a couple shots with you guys. Birthdays? Any birthday? Okay, stop freaking out. You need to calm the fuck down right now. Only birthday person, lift your hand, please. 1, 2. What the hell? 2 gay boys? Any more? Where? What the fuck? This never happened. 3 gay boys' birthday, 1 Thursday. That's kind of wow. I'm in trouble tonight. So give me 4 sake bombs, 1 for me. We do this. We give you sake bomb on your birthdays. When you sing, we're gonna give you sake bomb. If you don't want a sake bomb, just let us know. We get some another gay boys to drink it for you. Don't get mad at me saying gay boys and lesbians. I tell my wife you're lesbian. So I just do that. Oh, by the way, we have cameras everywhere going on. They want to do some fucking stories about me. And I said, go ahead. The name of magazine is a Peon magazine. I love the fucking name. And this is going to be 2nd issue. They're lazy people. They're going to do 2 issues a year. I'm like, then I just love to help the startups. You know, they need somebody's love. So I'm just giving to them. Birthday people coming out. I know we got little problem with the cameras and all that. Let's ignore them. If we somehow trip over, break it, let's not worry about it. We're not going to shut the party down. Birthday gay boys coming out. Yeah, you guys, phone numbers and shit. Huh. Wow, shut up. I'm not hitting on you. I'm going to fuck you. Yeah. Oh, no, man. You think sake's going to make you asshole tight? Tighter? My ass is tight. It's still virgin. I'll fucking cut it 1/4 inch at a time. Okay, so you like that? Yeah, chink dick.
It's so funny because I've gone down to 1 issue a year, and so I wonder if he'd think I'm even more lazy because I'm just trying to put out 1 issue a year. I don't know. Man, I love hearing that. But then what happened next was if you sang or if it was your birthday, you got a sake bomb. That was just part of the show. And I don't know who doesn't know what a sake bomb is, but here it was a little glass of sake put into like a little 1/4 pour of Kirin Ichiban beer. And the whole crowd would get into it just like this.
Okay. Say loud.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, gay boys. After you get something going together, love. Well, watch me. I'm going to drink 2 more, and I'm going to bring my English back, and it's going to be okay. Funny thing, every time I go to Wendy's, which is I don't often, but lately, I cannot grab a plate to make a plate. So I go to Wendy's and just drive through and get the food, and they cannot understand me. Every time, this 3rd time, they could not understand me. I need to find out what the fuck's going on.
And then part of the the draw of singing karaoke there was that it was part roast. So DK would roast people in his own way, in his unique, unhinged joke style. And it was something that people always expected. You know, if you were going to go to DK, you might get picked out of the audience. And definitely if you sang, you would be rewarded with a sake bomb and a thorough berating.
1, 2, 3, shout!
You know, normally we don't let fucking Led Zeppelin plays here. Who wants to hear 5-6 minute song and But he told the DJ that he can do it. Come back, cute little stupid. The beauty and stupid don't go together, only blondes. Don't do that. Yeah, whatever. Next time you bring that, you take Viagra. You are losing some stamina here right now. You pop that Viagra and push it all the way. I didn't know there was a fucking song that I knew. And later I'm like, I know this song. Peons. How the fuck did it come up with the name Peon? The magazine is all about restaurants. Trey. Oh, there you are. I saw you in 1997 Gay Boy magazine front cover. Mr. Trey. Huh. Wow, how about those line dancers? Do you know you little bitches are in chink territory? What the fuck? Wow. Them cowboys and girls are taking over chink territory, you bitches. Y'all look good though. Why you not drinking? Why not spending money? What the fuck's wrong with you? Get off my stage. Non-lesbian.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, shout!
So this guy goes, whoever buy, lift your hand. We call that omnivore. Eat clam, hot dog. Clam, hot dog. Oh, I love this song. Don't fuck it up. If you fuck it up, I'm gonna have sex with your grandmother. All right, gay boy number 2. Huh.
And at the end of that clip, it's funny that that song he mentions, his favorite songs is "Creep" by Radiohead, because obviously part of his character on that stage was like a creepy old man who would have sex with your grandma, and you'll also notice that he uses the term "gay boy" a lot and lesbians. I don't really know why. I really don't. That was a term that he always used, and that was the ultimate compliment, being on the cover of any year of the Gay Boy magazine. I think me and Keaton got on it one year. I can't remember what year. I think it was 2003. But he actually got in trouble for that one time. He told me, he said the Austin Gay Alliance, I believe it was, contacted him and said that they were going to boycott his shows and also like protest outside, but he didn't stop saying that. I don't remember the exact reasoning, but there's nothing malicious in it. He's just being silly, you know, and that was just part of his stand-up routine. It made people chuckle. It's a funny word, gay boy, and so I hope people don't get upset by that. It's just a fucking joke. And then if a crowd was especially good, he would gift them with his art.
Someone asked me to put porn up. We don't have a porn here, people. I'll show you my porn is nothing like what we got, I mean. I think porn, you have to have at least 2 components together. hot dogs, clams. I don't want to talk about hot dog, but you know, they talk shit to each other, grab their hairs, and I'm gonna scare you, baby. I think we gotta go to next level of this energy. Normally, I show boobies. Not normally. No. Very abnormally, I don't show. I don't know what I'm saying. The fun crowd, I'll give you present the boobies. It is not a porn. And I'm pretty sure some people is gonna bother them. You might not like it. If you don't like it, please don't fucking look at it. It's pretty simple.
And what he meant by that, really, at these shows anyway, was it was like softcore porn. It was like women in lingerie and just like close-ups of tits. It was ridiculous. And I think one time, some of the footage we have shows it that like it shows the date that the mix was made, which was like 2014. So it was like a 6-year-old mix. And then he was playing it off a PlayStation 3, which I always thought was funny, just because it's just ridiculous. But it used to be much more hardcore. I think when I went for my 21st birthday, they were playing like 1980s hardcore porn on the TVs, and he'd be like, "You're in such a great crowd, you get the titties," and then all the TVs would come on, and they would all be playing porn while people were singing like Disney songs, and it was insane. It was unhinged. It made no sense, and it was amazing, and everybody in there was just part of it. Everybody's just down for a good time. And when we met him, these shows were also pretty tame. Like they used to be way crazier. Like I don't know if he had to tame them because like I said, the Austin Gay Alliance was getting upset, or that customers were getting upset, or that he was just getting older and he just kind of wanted to tame things down, or that the whole zeitgeist around cancel culture and the kind of words that you use kind of toned him down. I don't know what it was, but when we started filming him, it was much more tame. It used to be really crazy. And at the end of every show, he would always play YMCA. Why? I don't know. It might have something to do with the theme of everybody in the audience being either a gay boy or a lesbian. There was nobody that wasn't in the audience. So leaving on YMCA kind of just made sense, I guess. And he would leave like Elvis. He'd put on YMCA and run out of the room and leave everybody in there just continuously partying. People would run up to the stage and grab the mic and just all the tables would get up and start dancing. And all of a sudden, no one realized that DK was gone. It was just the host of the party had just vanished. It was insane because he had incited this party and then just disappeared. And I think we asked him one time why he did that, and he was just like, I just want to go home and leave everybody to party. And we do have footage of that, which is wild. But oh man, yeah, this is a tough one for me. I'm not gonna lie. God damn, I'm really gonna miss that guy. I wish I'd spent more time with him, but you always regret, stuff when it's gone. So yeah, this one hurts, but I will say that at the beginning when I started editing this episode, I was crying, but now I'm in a much better mood. Seeing him make everybody so happy, it's great. It makes me feel just as good as it did when I would see him live. So it's not a replacement, but it brings some joy. Hopefully it brings you some joy as well. I don't know what else to say. I just wanted to get all this stuff out there to make sure that DK is remembered. A lot of people in Austin know him. There's a lot of people in Austin who don't know him and will never know him. So maybe one day we'll get that footage out there. But until then, I wanted to make sure that he's still out there and people can hear his voice and his unhinged comedy routine and remember him in some way. I'm not sure what else to say. Here's DK doing his own outro by singing his favorite karaoke song.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, strike it!
I'm gonna sing a song for you. And I'm pretty sure I know that accent from me singing is really fucked up. I don't sing in English, but tonight I'm gonna do it for you. Where to begin? I can't begin to know it, but that I know is growing strong. Was in the spring, and spring became the summer, but I believe it come along. Touching hand, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never were, but now look at the light, and it's lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when I heard calling runs up my shoulder, how can I hurt when holding you? One, touching one, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, the times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would. Oh, no, no. Thank you.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, strike it!
I love that holy water. You know, this smart chink-ass person is so smart. I designed it for you to entertain me tonight.